Aesthetic. Concern with beauty or the appreciation of beauty. Aesthetics has that nice feeling that I can't explain, but y'all know what I'm talking about. The aesthetic of something just makes you want to appreciate it more, hence the meaning. And with the underground, you can pretty much see that there's an aesthetic for everything, even drugs. Some subgenres in the underground have their own aesthetics that give it its own uniqueness, if that makes sense. Like I explained in my Asian rock video. And yes, I'm gonna keep using the same background footage every time I talk about it. It has its own aesthetic as well. Asians, if you couldn't tell already. Different media like Battle Royale 2000 especially, Alice in Borderland, Death Note, Kill Bill. This media gives Asian rock its face and definition, like I said in that video. You just know whenever you look up an Asian rock type beat, song, or anything related, it will have that as the cover. First subgenre I'm going to talk about is regalia. Regalia has actually been around for a while now, and I think it's safe to say that it's top 3 or top 5 subgenres at least. And for that reason is why I'm not going to go into the entire history of regalia, just the aesthetic. Regalia has 2 main aesthetics, Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy. And it actually fits so well with the genre since regalia literally makes you want to go on a whole ass expedition, and that's what Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy is. The actual definition of regalia is something royal, like the producer. Royal Ansem is a regalia producer that have worked with Jace many times, and they're like that good producer artist duo. And apparently him and Jace came up with the idea of regalia, apparently.
Summrs, how he made pluggnb, me and my little producers, Royal, Reset, and some others, I can't think of them right now off the top, but we making this genre called regalia, and that shit is orchestrated, or orchestra, whatever the fuck you call that shit. It has a whole bunch of just beautiful sounds, you know.
Another regalia producer is Reset, who has also worked with Jace, and as well as DevStacks, who's actually been getting some buzz in the underground as of recent. Overall, regalia is probably my top 3 favorite aesthetics. Jerk is like a rising subgenre, and people are sleeping on it, so I'm gonna give it a quick rundown. The most popular jerk producer is Cash Paint, and he's produced for the likes of some names you probably heard of, xaviersobased and Saya XO. Songs like Patch Made and Kamehameha. Other producers are the likes of Blade, who has produced for Subi Baby Zendaya, Ion, and Noli. Now, the new age of jerk beats are like revived old hood trap beats, which is their aesthetic. The aesthetic of jerk beats is just Y2K and things pre-2016. Look up xaviersobased x Cash Paint type beat, and what do you see? Zendaya. Lots and lots of Zendaya. Just old IG photos that were taken on an old BlackBerry or Nokia or something. To be honest, this is probably one of my favorite aesthetics from a subgenre apart from Asian rock and regalia. Now, pluggnb has a lot of aesthetics, which I'm about to break down now. First one, and the very first pluggnb aesthetic, is Scarface. The old Zane Gang / Rob Surreal type beats, pretty much everyone in Surreal Gang, the main pluggnb Avengers of Surreal Gang, Thrill Boy, Zane Gang, and Rob Surreal. They all use that Tony Montana sample like the ones I'm about to play.
Come here. Hey. No, man! Who put this thing together? Me! That's who! Who do I trust? Me! You want to go to war? Come on. You want to go to war? We'll take you to war, okay? I told you, man! I told you! Don't f with me!
These tags / samples were used when pluggnb was in its early stage. Now to its other aesthetic, anime. Some notable anime that can be linked to pluggnb can be Death Note, Yu Yu Hakusho, and most notably, Parasite. Parasite, of course, spawned from Autumn's early Retribution series, which are all mostly pluggnb tapes. Some of his mostly SoundCloud exclusive songs all use Parasite covers, mostly from the anime. Some notable songs like Can't Take It with Summrs and Mama Told Me, and some of my personal favorites, Cuatro Cinco and All For You. Now, this subgenre is actually a bit different, so I'm going to explain. Telkshri is actually the creator of this subgenre, and you may have heard that name before. He produced for the likes of Can, Summrs, Benji Cold, and more. No Mercy is just pretty much another pluggnb derivative from the pluggnb subgenre. It's like pluggnb, but more ambient, and it's just a little bit more jazzy. As for the aesthetic, it is completely different from pluggnb because New Mercy has that dark / mysterious type aesthetic, kind of like dark Y2K, if you catch my drift. Things of that nature. Now, new jazz is another relatively new subgenre, and how new it was, I didn't even know what it was at one point. Like, obviously I knew what it was, but I didn't know what it was, like what a new jazz beat is. what is it made up of? Because if you look up like new jazz beats or new jazz beat tutorials, a lot of people would say, oh, this isn't even new jazz. And that just got me confused. But I know what it is now, obviously, so I'm gonna explain for the people that don't know. New jazz was created by rapper Lunchbox, who's actually been getting a lot of recognition as of recent, as well as the most popular new jazz producer, Amir Prod. Basically, new jazz's aesthetic is kind of like Asian rock's aesthetic with the Asians, but it's more dark. And speaking of which, I actually seen some people get Asian rock and new jazz mixed up for some reason. But then again, new jazz kind of has the same circle of people that also rap on Asian rock, like Benji Cole or Ecstasy, for example.
Niggas thinking I'm a crash dummy till I rock down. And I really was trapping in the back of the pop, man. Shot a kid mad at
Dark plug, evil plug, whatever you want to call it. It's basically just like scary shit. Horror movies, slasher, scary game type shit. For example, you look up evil plug / slime Cedo type beat, boom, just slasher, Freddy Krueger, and a whole bunch of other horror. And another aesthetic they have is Scarface. Of course, this spawned from Zangang as well as Slime Cedo, kinda. Like I noted earlier, Zangang actually uses some Scarface samples as tags for dark plug type beats. Since Zangang damn near created dark plug / evil plug, so why not do what you want with a sound you created? And yeah, that's the video. I tried to think of every single subgenre with an aesthetic, so if I miss any, please let me know. And I'll probably make a part 2 to it. Yeah, let me know your favorite subgenre and or favorite aesthetic of a subgenre. Me personally, it's still Asian rock.